Hi everybody, welcome to my kitchen. I have been busy making some breathing beads. When your emotion control center, or what I call the safety part of your brain, is on high alert and you're feeling the urge to fight and argue or run away or shut down and give up, you might need a tool to help you calm your safety pup and think clearly again. Breathing beads are handy little tools that can help you pause, take a few breaths, and remind yourself that everything is going to be okay. They come in different sizes and different shapes and colors. And they're kind of fun to make. Here, let me show you how. To begin, you are going to need some beads and some string. Now, beads come in all different sizes, and most beads will work for breathing beads. You can use really small beads, or you can use wooden beads that you can find in a craft shop, or you can use some of these colorful plastic beads. I think that I'm going to use these today. I usually use about 5 beads on my breathing bead string. You can use more or less, but I always find 5 to be a good number. In addition to beads, you're going to need some string. So this is a lace, kind of like a green shoelace. You can purchase these at a craft store, but you can also use the shoelaces that come out of an old pair of shoes. You just want to make sure that the hole in your bead is large enough for the lace to fit through. So whatever kind of string you have and whatever kind of bead you have, you want to make sure that the string is narrow enough to fit through the hole in the bead. I like to use shoelaces because they have the little plastic tip that make it easy to fit through the bead, but regular string works well too. When I do this, I just use a little piece of Scotch tape. I'll take a little piece of tape here and show you. So if I put my string together and then just a really small piece of tape, I just kind of smush that together. There. And then that keeps the strings from unraveling so that it'll go easily through the bead. But today I am going to use these beads that come in a couple of different colors and shapes. So let's get started. To begin, I'm going to fold my string in half and find the midpoint. I'm going to tie a knot so that there's a little loop that sticks through that kind of serves as an anchor. So this will give me something to hold on to when I'm pulling my beads from one end of the string to the other. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my beads and I'm going to hold it so that the holes face the sides. This lace is going to go through the hole this way, and then this lace is going to go through the hole in the opposite direction. Then I can pull both of these And I'm just gonna straighten this up a little bit so that it sits on top of the knot. Then I will take my next bead. The holes are on the sides of the bead. This lace, this end will go through in this direction. The other end of the lace will go through in the opposite direction. And then we will pull it. And you can see that my second bead is sitting on top of my first bead. I think we're gonna use the cube next. Again, my holes are facing the sides. We put one lace through in one direction, the other lace through in the other direction, and pull. And we'll go with the orange ball. One lace through in one direction, the other in the other direction, and pull. And finally, our last bead, again, putting the lace through in opposite directions, and pull. All right, so now we have 5 beads on the lace. Now, we've got to make sure that we tie a knot on this end so that the beads don't fall off the string when we move them. So I'm going to just loop it around and make a knot at this end. And now I have a set of breathing beads. Now you're probably wondering how these work, and that's a good question. Whenever you feel uncomfortable emotions bubbling up inside of you, there's a few different ways to use your breathing beads. One thing you can do is pause, take a breath, and as you exhale, pull a bead from one side of the string down to the opposite end, like this. And repeat this for 5 breaths. Another thing you can do with your breathing beads is you can think of a positive message to match the beads on your string. Since my string has 5 beads, I have a couple of 5-word messages that I use to coach myself through stressful situations. One of the things I say is, it's going to be okay. Or, I can do hard things. The third way I use the beads is to have each bead represent one of my 5 senses. Then, each time I pull a bead from one end of the string to the other, I think of something that I can see, something that I can hear and smell and touch and something I can taste. When you take time to pause and breathe and use encouraging words or focus on your senses, you will feel your brain's safety pup calming down so that the thinking or Einstein part of your brain can think clearly, solve problems, and coach you through stressful situations. Give this strategy a try and see what it can do for you. And I'll see you next time.